distracting the enemy team. Anyways, though, I do want to talk a little bit about this XP lane or just Blacklist International's draft because in a lot of their drafts here, we usually see that Fredrin is used as a flex pick. Not for Blacklist, though. Every single time the Fredrin is picked up by Blacklist, well, not every single time, but 90% of the time, it's jungle, right? Yeah. They always want a playmaker on Edward. That's the reason you're still seeing that Lapu ban here, the respect being given out, and also the Claude ban. They want to get rid of a hero that can blink out of the Detonus Welcome, can blink out of the real pure engage from the glue, and even from the poke that's coming in from the Farsha.
But I still like the way that Blacklist are drafting because we've discussed that the way that they're going to win is through OHEB as well as Edward. So now that they've seen at least 80% of the draft coming in from Echo, now they should have enough information to really understand what kind of heroes they should get, because if OHEB and Edward loses lane, they're going to lose priority in the jungle or the riverside, and that's really going to impact how Blacklist plays. So these last two picks will really impact, because at least now they've seen the Brody. What do you want to use against the Brody?
They still need to put yes, but they also still need to put a hero on Agent Zero, and that might be the key. Benedetta's still open here, but it looks like Echo has an answer. Oh, nope, there you go. We mentioned the Joy.
And
they left it open.
It's the Franco from Yaoi too. I love it, right? Again, we mentioned about the Joy. More of a distraction than a prio pick, right?
Yes.
But it is a good pick here. Noticing that Blacklist International, they're going to have that back line really targeted down by Echo. So what the Joy is going to do here is to create space by being that annoying hero in the enemy back line. Thing is, though, Echo waited for this. They knew it was coming, right? It was either they went for a Kufra pick, a Cho pick, or they see the Joy, instantly they go for the Franco, they can lock the Joy down.
Yeah, but given that Cho is banned out, Echo had the ball in their court. It was their shot to make. You mentioned the Kufra. Yaoi had a lot of
crazy games on the Kufra.
Chance to play that, but instead they go for the Franco. You know, a game lost be damned, but we don't care about it going into the Valentina. We don't care if Haji gets it. And looking at it, is it going to the hands of Valentina? Yes, of course, yes, Haji, because again, there's a Fredrin. That's definitely Wise's hero.
Yeah, I'm just going to say we're going into game number 2. Blacklist International going up against Echo. And what I wanted to say was that Echo picked up the most banned hero of Blacklist International. They keep banning out this Franco. So now Franco in the hands of Echo. This might be a bad game for Blacklist.
Yep, and the reason why is because it breaks the Ube. You don't get to engage on your terms. And in the hands of the playmaker, Yaoi, it's going to be a great way to, again, either set up a box that Blacklist is not comfortable with, or break whatever Blacklist is trying to do.
And this is a similar approach to, again, what RRQ did against Echo yesterday, right? They picked up that Franco, but unfortunately for RRQ, they didn't have anything to build around the Franco. Meanwhile here, I was questioning the Brody pick earlier on. I was like, what? Brody into Lolita? Then you see the Franco and you're like, there you go. That's what it was for. You hook the opponent away, and what's the Lolita gonna do, right? Sure, she can actually jump in, flicker maybe to get that shielding down, but it's a bit too risky, and if Venus is on the receiving end of the hook, it's gonna be a lot to deal with here, and Venus right now is gonna be caught. Yaoi gonna throw the iron hook. Good dodge by Venus.
Yeah, looking at this game, Blacklist International, I would say after the group stages, this Franco is a nightmare for them because it is the reason why they've lost. So now we got to see their evolved form. Have they been able to find a way to fight against this Franco? Right now, looking at the lanes, not a lot is going on. Wise goes down to fight against Sanford, but I don't think they can secure a kill here.
Too sustainable, gets out of that one. Wise is level 4, Carl TZ as well. Both of these junglers clearing very, very fast. In the end, it's Hachi who actually steals the gold buff away.
Yep, looking at a potential 3v3, 4v4 down bottom as they both jockey for position, finding a good pull for this Lord. And it looks like Echo is the one first on the scene. Carl TZ whacking away. Oh, there's a ult!
Yeah, Sanford zoning very, very well here with a split as well. Bringing Wise away. Numenor Blast gonna be charged in. Onto Carl TZ, but no! It's Yaoi who finds the Iron Hook, and Carl TZ finds the Retribution. Edward on the back line. That's a stolen for the airstrike as the Bloody Hunt comes down onto Edward to lock him down. Sanford finding Wise, the flicker over. Edward picking up another. It's a 2-for-1 right now. Echo still equal though in terms of the trade because they secured the turtle.
I like how Blacklist played that fight just now because even though they were focusing on the turtle, they kind of understood that it's not 100%. It's not even 50-50. It was kind of a 60-40 at that point. So they tried to find the alternate win condition around the turtle, which is try to get a little bit more kills. So they were willing to expand a lot of their resources there. Looking at the items right now, really not a lot of power spikes just yet. The Beatrix here, piloted by OHEB, understands that there is a chance he's going to get attacked, and right now, Carl Tease is getting attacked.
He is the frontliner though, so he's happy taking that damage in. Haji is going to be the one losing a whole lot of HP from Sanji. Venus does too, and now that mid control is for Echo.
And you're seeing here the difference between Haji and Sanji, a Valentina and a Farsa. It seems like now, when the ult is ready on Sanji, he's just willing to pull it out and then force Haji to respond. It's all about timing. It's all about engagement.
Oh.
And Yaoi, did he do it? No, the Filipino sniper still confirms the gold crab.
That was an insane calculation, man. An insane micro play by OHEB, right? He knows exactly how it was going to go down, even with the snipes there.
I gotta say, in my head, he was holding his breath and like,
Yeah.
1, 2, pump, just get it. And I just want to touch a little bit about the emblems, because in terms of scaling, I kind of feel like Blacklist, they have an advantage because OHEB is using a marksman emblem compared to Benny Cutie using the assassin emblem. He's gonna have a lot of damage, but still, in terms of scaling, Blacklist, they have it in the bag, and now looks like Echo, they're just gonna push Blacklist away. Don't push too hard.
Oh, not an engagement.
Coming.
Pick up the kill. Turtle over to Blacklist right now as Sanford jumps in with Swiss Split, bringing Venus back for the damage to come through once again. Sanji picking up.
Take my queen, says Wise. Echo pressuring mid lane tier 2, even tier 2 down bottom. That's Sanford go whacking away.
I was like,
2-0. Turtle goes over to Blacklist though, as well. It's actually Echo who took it. Wow, clear win now for the Orcas.
Yeah, clear win because they have a lot of birds in the early stages of the game, because Wise being in the front line, he can CC them for a bit, and OHEB, that was lucky that he didn't not get hooked. And so because they have a lot of birds in the early stages of the game, because Wise being in the front line, he can CC them for a bit, and OHEB, that was lucky that he did not get hooked. And so far, OHEB will be fine. Looking at the items, clear power spikes right now. Looking at Edward, he's not going to be tanking a lot, but he can do a lot of damage because of the Genius Wand. So as long as he can prolong the fight, he can really help himself out, as well as Haji. Speaking of which, Haji is using a scale kind of itemization, so he's not going to be too strong right now, but I would say in 8 minutes, he's really gonna power through Echo.
yeah. And honestly, I do really want to talk about how Blacklist International are negating the bully potential from the Brody, right? Because earlier we saw the lane frozen by Benny QT in that lane. Wise instantly stopped by into the gold lane, even risking his life just to help OHEB clear it out. And this is what's going to get Blacklist to that item power spike for OHEB in the gold lane. The Beatrix has been farming very well, considering that he is in the losing matchup up against that Brody.
Yep, and we're just waiting for that to flourish. We're just waiting for that to get the payoff. Bottom lane though, you see the XP laner just leaving constantly. Very good wave clear from both the Joy and the Blue. Oh, the pull on Wise!
The Iron Hook, and that's gonna be the Bloody Hunt. Chained in, but that's just welcome as Edward jumps in with a lot of damage coming down. Sanji with the wings by wings, getting out. Numenor blast, and for the airstrike stolen away by Haji with the IMU. Bennett's Rage, able to find the kill onto Sanford. Carl TZ gonna be gunned down. That's the Iron Hook to provide the peel necessary for Carl TZ. It's a 1-for-1. The XP lane traded in for the jungler.
Wait, look at Benny Cutie, Benny Cutie.
Oh, watch out, Benny from the back line. OHEB hasn't spotted him yet. We're going for the turtle. There's the pull. Yaoi as well. Look at this. Prime positioning from the Echo squad. Oh, he's revealed. There's the hook.
Yeah, we missed it. Gonna be stunned up. Venus actually onto the turtle. Carl TZ with a quarter of his HP bar. Oh, that's the feather airstrike prematurely popped in. Sanji's gonna be zoned away now, but Benny, again, this is the man that we're gonna be looking at. Wise, gonna be hooked down. That's the moment for Benny to jump in. That's the damage coming through the Turnip memory as well. To take the turtle and to take OHEB. Carl TZ with a deathless welcome. Not going to be able to find it just yet. Sanford onto Venus, bringing him back. Numenor blast to be popped in, but he's not going to be able to get charged all the way. Edward, sunned up, suppressed. Bloody Hunt popped in. Yaoi going to fall to the hands of Edward as Sanford still wants to keep on going. Sanji rotating back into the mid lane. Wise is going to be brought back. It's a pause here in the 7th minute of the game.
Messy engagement. and the payoff was just about to come up. Benny Cutie able to hide in that bush, put a few marks on several members of Blacklist International, plus on the turtle, which allows Echo to pummel on through forward, but you can't discount the fact that Blacklist played that very well as well.
Yeah, Blacklist played it very well, but again, Benny Cutie just understanding the situation, not understanding like just his hero, just Blacklist hero, but he's like, okay. Because I kind of feel like a lot of people looking at that situation, Oheb was kind of isolated by his team. It was prime position to just stun him up, get some stacks in, and then just kill him off just like that. But he's like, no, I'm going to wait, SA. I'm going to make sure everyone is close enough. He gets into turret range. He can get stacks onto a lot of people and get maximum value from his ult. And that's what he did. He got maximum value from his ult.
And again, there's a very thin line between, I guess, a mistake and being loco, right?
That was pretty loco.
We were so close for it to being a mistake, but the fact that Benny's still alive now, at the cost of Carl Teasy's life, it allowed for it to be loco.
And it comes down to trigger discipline, right? The fact that he was in the bush for so long, even Yaoi is spotted, and he still stuck. He was like,
and
okay,
no one checked the bush
I'm
as well.
committing, bro. I'm committing. And he committed, right? Because Yaoi was spotted out already, they were like, no way. There's no way a Brody is waiting in that bush.
Yep.
It turns out, that's how Benny plays, buddy.
No way a marksman will flank, right? I mean, that's like an assassin kind of thing.
Yeah, Benny's an assassin sometimes. You can kind of say he's an assassin because of the way he plays these marksmen. He flickers forward, he looks for flanks, and here, we're going to see the player head-to-head.
Never let them know your next move. That's what Benny did. Never let them know your next move.
And that's what makes him a force of nature. That's what makes him the storm. He just comes up. And here, leading these two players, the gold laners, are these roamers, all right? Yaoi, the playmaker, and his idol, Mumshu, oh my Venus. Again, they're two different kinds of roamers, two different kind of team captains, but the way that they lead their teams are just perfect for their playstyle.
We've seen it, right? Again, Yaoi with more flashy heroes. But for Venus, it's time to enable. But here, we're going to be put in right into the team fight. Echo with... Actually, it's a pretty good trade now that I see it for Blacklist. Not that bad.
Yeah.
Benny actually fell for the airstrike, though, from Sanji in the mid lane, making it in favor of Echo.
All right, something transpired in between the time we resumed and paused in. But for now, real quick, folks, Blacklist forcing out a push up top. Buff still secured per side, and we're looking at a possible kill on Edward.
Nope. That's Edward for you. Gets out in relative ease again, right? Echo trying pressure, but now it's just for Blacklist International to punish in the goal, well, in the other side of the map, which is going to be the XP lane. They even tried to deny as much as possible from Benny, forced to use a Turnip memory to get those last hits.
This is the world stage, so I'm allowed to be a little bit more critical looking at the way that the game is transpiring.
We just spoke about this, Yaoi versus Venus, and Yaoi is going to be able to find that Iron Hook. Connecting onto Wise, bringing it back under the tier 1, and that's everyone collapsing. Benny with a Turnip memory back up on that cooldown is going to be able to secure it for the edge right now on to Haji and Oheb. Haji going to be stunned up, has the feather airstrike, but both teams disengage.
King and the Queen in a flash goes out. I mean, Edward able to make the most of a bad situation, but LaFell, what does this mean?
First of all, I just want to say I'm so glad I was interrupted because I was about to say Blacklist was actually looking pretty good because Oheb is going to scale up and Yaoi's not hitting the hooks, but never mind. Yaoi got a very crucial hook, and the thing is, this is the time where Benny Cutie, I would say, is almost at his max because he already has his Blade of Despair as well as the Fury Hammer. Enough penetration, enough raw damage. This is the time you force the fight. This is not about waiting. If you see an opportunity, just go for it.
And it looks like Blacklist has already found their window. Haji pulling out Sanford, Carl Deasy losing the pull battle against Wise. Blacklist have a small favorable position over the Lord. It's closer to the south, closer to Wise. They spot on my Venus. Yaoi throws out a hook. And now the Lord dance continues.
It's a very slow Lord dance. It's a macro-centric play here. Mid-control. Steve fought for, and that's concealed though. Yeah, we're gonna be able to find Haji. Bloody Hunt as well. That's damage coming through, and a Turnip memory finds its mark. The Venom Rage to follow it through. Yeah, we're gonna be taken down. Sanford jumps in with split. Venus with the man on blast, stunning him up right now. Carl Deasy gonna be taunted up. Kind of airstrike to the back line. Oh, it's gonna be caught. Wise now with the Appraiser's Wrath. Still able to sustain for a bit as Sanford still on that split. He jumps back away.
Still
Venus
going.
taken low. That's gonna be Benny dealing out of damage. Now with the Turnip memory! Benny QT with a flicker forward again. Styling on Blacklist International.
That team fight could not have been better for Echo. 4 down, no clap back from Blacklist, and Echo now making a beeline straight for this Elemental Lord.
Okay, now Edward coming in, not gonna be able to steal. But yeah, in this game, objectives are important. And Sanford, he's gonna get chased. Will he actually get down? Yaoi stops the progression of Edward. And as I'm saying, objectives are very important, but it doesn't have to be the turrets. It doesn't have to be the Lord. Kills are objectives as well. And again, Echo, their draft, they have a lot of big potential. So they're really using their draft to the finest. I like the way that they approached it. Don't fight the Lord. Kill them first.
And they did. They found bodies, pushed them all the way behind tier 2 down bottom. And it's putting on my Venus, who just hit the ranked first one, average assist 10.4 per game here in M4, into a weird position. When do I use Numinum Blast? When do I protect my teammates? When do I find a proactive spot, a window for us to clap back? And it's looking harder and harder by the minute. Echo pushes mid tier 1, and now they're threatening tier 2 as well. Watch Sanji, he's concealed.
Yeah, and he pops in the Feather Airstrike, zoning Oheb away as Edward jumps in closer. Sanji with Wings by Wings, getting out. Feather Airstrike being popped, Sanji flickers out. Call TZ, finding the death to this welcome onto Wise, gonna be stunned up again. No, now blast all from Venus out of nowhere. Sanford still in the front lines. Benny QT dealing with damage right now as Edward's gonna be able to jump into the back line, but the Bloody Hunt catches Edward, and a torn apart memory silences him, takes him down. Sanji with Wings by Wings. Oheb gonna be taken low, forced to flicker out by Yaoi, and Sanford flicker forward. Now Echo still on the march with the Feather Airstrike taking Venus down. Haji is all alone, terrifying Yaoi. Still able to survive with the Iron Hook. Connects again, and Echo have wiped out Blacklist International. They're looking for the end. No minions on the board. They're forced to back away.
5 for 1 plus 2 major objectives pushed in by the Orcas. This is both discipline and ruthlessness. LaFell, where'd they pull this from?
First of all, I gotta say, there's a reason why Franco is the most banned hero for Blacklist International. I kind of feel like going to the next game, it has to be put into contention. Now, Blacklist, how this really happens is because Echo always finds a way to actually dish out damage onto Oheb, because every single fight, look at where Oheb is positioning. It's not that he's positioning bad, it's just that he has to constantly run away. He has to run away from Benny Cutie, he has to run away from Sanji, from Sanford, from Yaoi. There's so many ways he can get caught, and it's so hard to micromanage all of it, especially when Echo, the way that they attack, sometimes Oheb doesn't see it coming.
It sounds like Blacklist has been overloaded by Burst and also a good amount of CC. And those two things are lethal against a lineup like Blacklist, against the Ube strat. And they just can't pull it off here as Benny Cutie forces a push up top. And that's a clean tier 2 tower take, gonna help open up this Luminous Lord for Echo. Now 8K ahead at 13 minutes.
That's insane. And on top of that, Benny's on a hero like the Brody, who snowballs like an absolute monster. And you can see here, this is the play by Blacklist International. They still want to contest. Lord taken to half HP. Carl TZ still on it. This is the Lord dance. At the mid lane, pressure will be popped in from Echo. 8,000 gold lead. The Feather Airstrike will be popped in. The zone, other members away. Carl TZ with that is welcome, finding it. Haji stealing. The Feather Airstrike again. The Feather Straight into the Metal Blast. Why steals it away? Yaoi got the Bloody Hunt, but it's all for them. Sanford's all alone. Yaoi's gonna be gunned down. But Benny QT again with the back door.
Damn you, Benny! Damn you! On the world stage, he takes game 2 away from Blacklist International.
I just gotta say, man, the way this set up, the entire map, they're setting up for a checkmate. And then Benny Cutie is like, I don't care about pawns, I don't even care about queen. I'm going for the king. And that is the crystal there. Right now, 2-0 Echo over Blacklist International.
What is this man made of? Oh my god, how many times has he found this play?
The storm, the typhoon, the hurricane, Bagyong Benny, born and bred to split lanes and take games.
Wow.
the shot calling, though, that was needed to make that play happen.
I mean, again, it looks like Echo is not just they understand the draft, they just understand Blacklist in general. You guys want to clump up together, go ahead. Hey, we're going to take the Lord. You're going to contest for it, right? Well, go ahead. We're going to split push. I think this is just critical understanding of what Blacklist is going to do before Blacklist even does it. Because, again, throughout the game, they're still winning the lanes. And look at how they're rotating around the map because, okay, I'm not the analyst here. I mean, I'm analyst on the desk, but not on the stand. But look at how when the Lord was being pushed, Sanford, he could have pushed as well, but he avoided it. He went straight to the Lord, and he didn't care about the Lord. He didn't care about the jungler. No, 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 no. He just went straight to Oheb. And he doesn't care. I just want to slow down Oheb. And then because of that, everyone was focused. We got to take care of Oheb. Now that they're taking care of Oheb, wait, Benny Cutie.
Yeah, it's sensory overload, and it came down to the fact that Blacklist could not respond, and that's how Echo took game number 2. More on that in just a bit. We'd like to remind everyone and give a special shout out to Secret Lab, the official gaming chair partner of M4. We're talking about a built-in lumbar support system that you can adjust to your spine, an incredible magnetic memory foam head pillow, and brand new fabrics in all sorts of colors and designs. The Secret Lab Titan Evo 2022 gaming chair is designed to keep everyone seated in incredible comfort for a long time. I'm talking about a best of 7 that goes all the way. In the MPL Philippines Grand Finals in Season 10, they went to Game 6, and boy, oh boy, was I ready for more. And here tonight, I hope everyone is. But it looks like Echo are thinking something else. They're going fast here. They're going way too fast for the world champions to respond. But with that being said, on behalf of Miracle LaFell, we're going to throw it over to the analysts.
Thanks, Leo. But today we are seeing a team that has perfected a technique. Science plus violence. Get out of the way, Hurricane Katrina, because Benny QT is going after your homes. They're going after your base. Welcome back to the Analyst Stand. My name is Getting Cute. This is going to be Assassin Dave as well as Wolf here to break it down for you one more time. This is an outstanding performance coming out from Echo.
There are a few things I want to mention. Number 1, momentum going towards Echo. Number 2, the name of the game is Sanford and Benny QT, right? Those two were popping off in that game. I mean, like, Sanford was literally 1v4ing with the glue. He's the monster, aka glue monster. I mean, like, what can Blacklist do at this point?
You know, they have to stop the momentum of Echo for sure, but it's like the opposite way around. Blacklist want to play their own brand of the game, their own code, right? And we saw that in back-to-back games. They know how to operate, they know these heroes, the ins and outs of the Ube strategy that they're trying to employ against Echo, but it's just that Echo is just stopping them in their tracks. I think that the reason why Blacklist are losing back-to-back games is because they kept on playing the same game.
Here's the thing, right? In the background, when we were talking and discussing about this draft, something about Echo that really stands out is the fact that, you know, they're not tunnel visioning anymore. They're not playing hyper defensively. They have playmaking capabilities.
Absolutely, and let's take a look at the item, right? Benny QT with 10,000 gold, closer to 11,000 gold, A1-1. In fact, everybody's KDA on the carry position, right? 5-1-11 on Sanford, 5-0-8 on Sunji. All these carry positions are absolutely dominating. Now, I'm interested to find out the MVP later on once we get there, because I think even though we got so much farm, so much resource to Benny, it's actually Sanford who set up the play for the teammates.
Okay, now we're going to be jumping over to the post stats here, and I'm really interested to see the overall team fight participation. Ooh. Edward having 100%, but the control from Echo. Like, imagine Edward being part of every single one of these fights, and yet Echo, not one of them, not even 100%. They are dividing and conquering so well.
Yeah, you know, you talked about how Sanford was instrumental of this, playmaking potential, right, from coming up from Gideon. Totally agree with you guys, because I think that Echo, their shot selection in this game, particularly in internal fights, was amazing, was on point. Sanford knows who to jump onto. Even he chooses sometimes Oh My Venus, sometimes it's going to be Wise. It depends on the situation, what the situation calls for, so that Echo will win those turtle fights. then when it comes to those crucial moments where there's like a 50-50 or even like the odds are in their favor, they utilize the spacing coming out from Yahweh's Franco and of course LTC's Daytona's welcome to displace Blacklist International for them to not get into their bubble.
Absolutely, right? Sanford on the glue monster was insane. He has pinpoint accuracy. You're absolutely on point on that. He knows exactly which person to carry away, right? In objective, in turtle fights, and also in lore fights. Sometimes to get to the back line. I remember this one time when Benny Kuti flickered in for the ultimate for Turnip part memory, get a double kill, and that was all set up by Sanford.
Yeah.
He was literally 1v4ing, taking all the damage and staying alive.
Personally, for me, I don't know what the communications coming in from Echo is going to sound like, but I can't wait for them to drop it. But let's have a look at the MVP of this game, Benny QT. Domination, and more importantly, nobody escapes this hurricane.
And I think that it is now safe for me to say, for all over the world, that he is now the holder of the gold standard, gold lane standard. The way he positions himself is amazing to look at. It's
Thanks.
textbook, right? If you want to learn how to utilize and position a marksman, do look at Benny Cuti's games because of how he's able to just win the matchups in the laning stage. Eventually, team fights, his timing with the flicker and the ultimate was phenomenal.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out about Benny in this game, he put out the very characteristic and very special Echo-style split push, right? The marksman split push in the late game.
Right.
Just when you think, okay, the Brody has to be in the team fight. I mean, it's a marksman, that's the most damage source, he got the most farm, he has to be here. And the next thing you know, your base is gone. This guy has 45% kill participation only, and yet he's the win condition, right, for the team.
All right, let's sniff out a little bit of how Benny QT actually plays the way he does, how he positions himself with the heat map from 5 to 10 minutes here. He's supposed to be the cleanup crew for the rest of the squad. Walk me through this here.
All right, so he started with a top lane art, but at 5 minutes where the turtle is gonna respond, a second turtle of the game, he was there. Look at him, look at that bush, this between the purple buff and the turtle. He stayed for that for a long time, then found an opening during the turtle fight, take out Ohib. That was a great play. Look back at that play. Afterwards though, he went to the XP lane. He knows that the gold lane is already done for. All they need to do is to get more influence in the other part of the map so that they can set up for the next turtle.
I mean, so far this game has been looking super dominating here, and if we look at the MVP highlights overall,
Look at that play.
when does Blacklist actually, try and come back if you were in their position?
Benny QT he's like assassin marksman player.
Yeah.
You know, like he's always behind you on the side of you. Oh, this is a beautiful play by the entire side of Echo. He started off with a hook flicker from Yaoi, and then an ultimate, beautiful ultimate from Barasa Dinosaur. It just shut down the V-Vice combo, right, from the side of Blacklist. And take a look at the bottom side. This is where Sanford set up the play. And Benny QT flickered and finished off the kill, the executioner. I want to see the split push in the end. I think that highlight was just so good. How does this guy just quietly and sneakily go into your base and take everything?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with just
Here we
the
go.
way he kind of positions himself, and more importantly so, Echo has a huge priority on where Haji is. They expect Wise to be in a certain position. They expect Oheb and Venus to be in another position, but more importantly so, they needed to ensure that the playmakers, Oh My Venus and as well as Haji, they need to know their position before they make a decision.
And Blacklist International kind of plays like you said, plays the same game. They're very good at it. I'm not saying that they're bad at it or that it is a mistake for them to keep on doing it because that's their winning formula. But it feels like in games number 1 and 2, Echo just read through that, knows the steps that they're going through, and then countered them every step of the way.
They broke the code.
There has to be a little bit of a curveball for Blacklist come game 3.
They broke the code. What can I say?
Wait, it's not
Have to relax, bro.
over.
You have to
Yeah,
relax.
it's not over just yet. It's a best of 7, but let's see what Marikar are up to.
It feels like in a land of down with all of the heroes and the players, important player, we have Dlar and Marky. Halo Dlar, apa kabar?
Baik,
Baik. Coba dong disapa dulu pakai bahasa Indonesia dong.
Indonesian words, Indonesian words.
bisa dong tapi masih sedikit.
Oh, he can do, but only a little bit.
Okay, sample, sample, sample.
Ako udah makan tadi.
Oh, what does that mean?
That means he have eaten.
Okay, what can you say in Bahasa?
Ako makan nakdi.
Oh, translate, Dlar, translate. Translate.
translate in Tagalog.
Yeah.
Kumain na daw siya ng McDo.
Ah, okay. Okay, did you guys expect it was gonna be a 2-0 for Echo? Did you expect that performance from them?
Sa akin, hindi kasi sa tingin ko, dikit lang yung mga laban dapat. Kasi alam ko yung Blacklist, laging handa yan.
Okay, he wasn't expecting it because the games are too close and he knows that Blacklist are always prepared. Dilar.
Sa akin naman, ina-expect na unang aabante yung Echo. Kasi meron silang momentum, galing silang lower bracket eh.
Oh, you expected Echo to advance because they have the momentum because they're coming from the lower bracket? Okay, now, Dilar, you've been with V-Wise for 4 seasons. Even before MPL, you're with them. If you can give us an inside scoop because you know V-Wise really well, how do you think they're reacting right now with 0-2? What's going through their mind? And usually, what do they say and do when they're backstage?
Tingin ko dito nagagana si Venus eh. Kasi sobrang galing niya sa gantong parte. Kung paano mag-adjust, tapos pag dumamang yung kalaban, alam niya kung paano babaliktarin yung laban.
He thinks this is Venus' strength. This is what he's really good at. When they're down, he knows how to flip it around and use it against their opponent.
So what gonna do? What are they gonna do for
What are they
the
gonna do?
next match? For the next game?
Marky, what should they do? Marky! Bigatron!
Sa tingin ko, ilalabas na nila yung mga tinatago nilang bala eh.
Oh.
Marami pa silang papakita dyan. Alam ko.
He knows that they're gonna be showing a lot and they're gonna take out their hidden bullets, their hidden cards, their hidden ace. How hard is it? You know this as a player, how hard is it to bounce back from a 0-2? How difficult?
Tingin ko depende talaga sa mentality ng player. Kung gaano sila kalakas mentally, ganun. Kapag ganito yung laban, especially pag best of 7.
It depends on the mentality of the players,
Okay.
how they're prepared mentally, especially in a best of 7.
But do you have any prediction for this match, this grand final match, Marky and Dilar?
Prediction?
Guwa, still Blacklist.
Blacklist?
Score?
Here first, okay? Okay? Dilar, get everybody to cheer for Blacklist.
Let's go!
Blacklist, hashtag break the oath.
Oh, Blacklist, hashtag break the code. Ang cute mo. Okay, for you.
Echo loud, echo proud. Pinas lang malakas, let's go.
Echo loud, echo proud. Pinas lang malakas. Let's go. Let's go, casters.
Here from our M3 grand finalists now playing for Indonesian teams Marky and Dilar. Before we talk about how we're going to set up for game 3, how possibly Blacklist could start making their comeback, I'd like to tell you all about Gank. Never got a style when you wear in game with Gank, a lifestyle fashion brand made for the modern gamer and is the M4 World Championship official merchandise partner. Grab the M4 merchandise at www.gank.asia today. Mirko, it's odd to see our defending champions be put up against a wall like this.
It's strange, very strange, right? Because they even met in the upper brackets, right? Blacklist and Echo, when they met, Echo were able to take game number 1, but then game number 2, you saw that Blacklist was able to fight back. Here, you can see that Echo, we mentioned this earlier on as well, they have learned and they have progressed through the lower brackets, now 2-0. Up against Blacklist International, who are still, playing the same way that they did in the upper brackets.
Now, here is, this is where me, as an analyst, I'm going to give my opinions because as we're looking at the hero pick recap, I'm actually going to talk about how they're playing the map because in the game, in Mobile Legends Bang Bang, it's about a game of trades. What do you want to trade for something else? Do you trade kills for objectives? Do you trade objectives for kills? Do you trade your buff in order to get your opponent's buff? And the way that Echo has been setting things up, they're setting up by focusing on one lane, getting a lot of resources there, and setting up a potential backdoor for Benny Cutie. So every single turret that they get is they're setting for a checkmate. So what Blacklist have to do is actually put the aggression onto Echo. Either, if they do want to scale up, make sure they have the composition that can allow them to protect their own turrets, because I kind of feel like giving the first tier and second tier turret on either side lane is very dangerous going up against Echo. So either increase the tempo of your own play to make sure that Echo cannot push, or just make sure that they draft something that can allow them to actually protect the turrets, because this is the name of the game. Protect your house, protect your turrets.
They tried that a bit, right? I mean, they went for the Beatrix, pretty good high ground with the Bennett. They went for the Valentina to try to steal the IMU because, again, the Eve was banned out. But what I personally want to talk about is the damage allocation, right? The targeting, because if you saw the hero recap earlier, in terms of damage, Blacklist were doing more. Blacklist were doing more damage consistently as well with the Beatrix, the Joy, and the Valentina. How was Echo able to win that? It's the allocation of that damage, right? It was always placed to the enemy backline, which is Blacklist. Blacklist's backline is always the target of Benny, of Sanji, and as well as Sanford on the glue, who did more damage than Benny. So that just makes it super impressive how Benny was able to get the MVP, get the most kills in the game, but dealing the third most damage.
I mean, you got to put into consideration, just like you said, damage allocation, because if you do a lot of damage, but you do a lot of damage to a person that has very low HP, you're not going to look like you're doing a lot of damage compared to someone who's just attacking someone that just doesn't die. They just keep on regening.
And that's exactly the job that Sanford has most games, right? Cut into the back line, make that backline scramble, and then have Benny Cutie or Sanji ruin whatever is left of that. And with that being said, it's just moments away for us going into game number 3, and we'll see exactly how far Echo wants to take this momentum and how they're going to use that. And we'll see exactly how Oh My Venus shot calling and leadership is going to come into a moment like this for their team, wherein their backs are against the wall. It's not quite match point just yet, but this is dire straits. Agents all around the world, I know for sure, even here in Tennis and Dorsinayan, are feeling the pressure.
Definitely, right? As the defending champion, making it all the way here to a back-to-back grand final. There's a lot of pressure on their shoulders already.
Yeah.
On top of that, Echo, the young blood, Sanji Sanford, 16-17, they want that title. They're hungry for it.
And it's right here, center stage, seconds away from the draft. We're going into game number 3. Coaches and analysts have major decisions to make. What are we opening up for trade? It's Echo now on the play, blue side, banning out the Diggy, the Estes, and the Glue, while Blacklist take out the Cho, the 1-1, and the Eve.
I just want to say one thing. Echo, they're showing full respect. The Blacklist International, their first pick, they're banning out the Estes as well as the Diggy, because if they can always make sure that they're getting Oheb as well as Haji, the only way that they can be saved is having a little bit more HP. So getting that out of the way, I really feel like Echo has broken the code. As long as they can sustain long in the fight, then it's GG, because Wise can be in front all he wants. We really don't care. Oheb and Haji is not there, we're gonna win. But sacrificing the Fredrin, they're getting the Fredrin for themselves and letting go of the carry. How do you feel about this?
I feel like it's a risk that Coach Treb and Tick are willing to take.
Wow.
And now even the Farsa is out of Sanji's hands. But they have a response just as quickly.
Oh my
this
God.
This is
Now if you're Echo, right?
100%.
Sobrang saya po na kasi yung Philippines at lalo na yung Blacklist nakapasok sa Grand Finals. And yun po, sobrang... kahit ngayon, di ako po makapaniwala na Blacklist nakapasok sa Grand Finals. And this is my first travel international, kaya sobrang memorable po.
He's really happy that once again Blacklist has made it to the grand finals. He's been supporting Blacklist for the longest time. Sometimes he would travel 10 hours to watch them, even early.
Lane, where
You can see a mix. Now they noticed, hey, we picked up a hero for Wise, and he hasn't picked up a hero in the first phase. It's time to really go down and ban him out.
How do you feel about this coat, LaFell? Wise, who's confident in winning the M4 World Championship again, because he's the only one who didn't use any assassins. He has 1,000 confidence, but how is that going to come into play here? Because that's a lot of non-assassins being banned out, specifically the Barat, and then his Fredrin's taken away from him as well.
I think what he's really trying to convey is that I don't bend towards the meta. The meta bend towards me. That's why he's really confident, because people can tell him all day that, oh, the Ling is good, Hayabusa is broken and everything like that. And he's like, sure, but my name is Wise. I choose what I want to play. And now, looking at Barats and Akai getting banned, what is he going to play? But I will say, I'm not actually looking at Wise to really change the game. If he does, then that's great. I'm actually looking at Edward, because I kind of feel like Edward is the key going up against this kind of draft, seeing the Kaja, seeing the Lapu, seeing the Fredrin. He should be the space maker and the initiator for Blacklist International to make sure that OHEB and Oh My Venus have optimal way to actually go into a fight.
Thing is, Blacklist International, they've tried that, right? They gave Benedetta a playmaking hero to Edward. In the second game, they gave him Glue to buy a little more time. Play as a distract. Oh no, sorry, Joy, my bad. Distract, right? But it didn't work both times. Now, what's open for him is that Benedetta, right? Wise is going to pick up that box share first. I was actually thinking the Valentina in the jungle. We haven't seen it in a long time, but with the Kaja having that Divine Judgment, it's a good ult to take. Benny still wants to play that Brody, knows that up against the carry, he actually has a bigger advantage here compared to last game in terms of just laning.
If anything, since the Valentina is not banned, might go into the hands of Echo, but it looks like Coach Treb and Coach TikTok are reading into it. I think they're afraid that Bonchan and Masters Basics are ready for it. Because again, it's wide open, right? But you need a good level of burst to make Echo's lineup work.
I think the better option here would be the Lilia, right? You get a bit more sustainability. You already have such a good composition to dive in, but it does seem like they... Whoa!
Whoa!
Nope, not the Valentina, not the Lilia. They want to go in.
Dude, it's like, let's end this game as quickly as possible.
They want to go in.
Dude, I'm loving this. Okay, so Edward picks up the Yuzong. And again, this is what I want to see, because he has to be the one to dictate the fight. He has to go in. But man, oh man, the burst, Kaja picks up anyone. You got the Gushin, you got the Brody. Okay, here's the thing. I love the draft. Works or not, I love the draft.
Yep, this is a throwback to about 2 or 3 months ago when MPL Philippines, MYID were in Season 10. Gushin was a hot pick. Gushin went through a career renaissance, was picked right out of ranked games into the pro scene, and here it looks like Echo are going for match point with it. Will they be able to do that? Blacklist have a solid lineup as well. Signature picks all across. What's this Yuzhong gonna do in the hands of Agent Zero? Is that enough of a instrument, of a tool to draw a line straight into the backline? Because what's the backline even for Echo? It's just Benny.
Dude, honestly, I kind of feel like it is enough, because just make sure everyone is close enough together, because you're just trying to distract. You're letting everyone else do the damage.
We'll see how fast Echo can go and how Blacklist answers back. This is Game 3. This is for the M4 World Championships.
This is the first Gushin pick at M4 too, right? Fun
Yep.
fact. Hey, right during the break, when it was the analyst segment, me and Leo, we were talking about it. We were like, hey, Echo in Game 3, they got a 2-0 lead. What are they supposed to do? Don't experiment too much in the draft. But here they are, experimenting in the draft again. In the Worlds, at the World stage. My dude, this is insane. It's Gushin's debut.
I fully trust Coach Treb and Coach TikTok and Echo, all right? They're putting on a show for us.
No, I mean, like, it's an experiment in our eyes.
Yes.
They probably trained this for quite a while, because again, looking at Blacklist, look at what happened game number 1. Look at what happened game number 2. They kind of just forget about Wise. They forget about Oh My Venus, and in a sense, they forget about Edward as well. As long as you get Oheb and Haji, it's all right. You probably don't even mind if Sanji dies, if you can get both Haji as well as Oheb. So this is fine. And again, looking at Edward, I'm still looking at him to kind of carry, because what he has to do is to start a fight, collect everyone together. That's it.
And they're going to be able to do that, but at the midway point, because again, you're also waiting for Oheb. You're waiting for this carry to hit a power spike, because it's a tough way playing a carry into a Brody.
It's very tough. The laning here, the matchup is not good for carry at all, right? You're going to be zoned away from your mini waves constantly. You need your Lolita or your Roamer, your jungler to stay. And this is where Echo have been utilizing Benny QT's stellar M4 performance. They're always playing around the gold lane, but now it's a turtle.
Oh, and also the XP lane. Look at this. Sanford and Sanji pressuring Haji and Edward. Lower, turtle very low.
Wow, Carl, TZ steals it away from Blacklist International like it's nothing. Just walks up like a Chad and uses the retribution.
I just gotta say, because we didn't really see, because we're looking at the turtle, I want to talk about the micromanagement of the wave, because Sanji, he sacrificed his own wave, and look at his Yaoi engages.
Divine Judgment of the Petrify from Sanji. Now to the Banana Blast, gonna be popped in here, but Yaoi's gonna be able to get away from that one. Not for long as Wise is able to find the kill back. A roamer traded in for the mid laner. Still, Echo takes the trade.
Lafo, you were saying.
No, I'm just saying, because during that fight, Yaoi didn't even dare to go close to the turtle because he was already at level 3. Sanji, with the cushion, went to the EXP lane, absorbed some of that minions, while Yaoi secured the entire minion wave in mid, allowed him to get level 4. And we just saw the engagement there, but I want to talk about how Carrie's having a difficult time. It's going to be more difficult now that Yaoi already has the Divine Judgment, so Oheb, he had the bad time before, it's going to get worse.
Oh, and that's why I think King Wise and Queen V are going ahead alongside Haji. So again, they're leaving Agent Zero here to make the best of this dead lane against Sanford's Lapu Lapu. Were about 30 seconds and a quarter away from Turtle. Once more, Echo got that handily. There's a lot of burst coming in from the Orcas, giving them a 300, 400 gold lead. And in terms of items, is that enough? Oh, there's a bull!
That's the Divine Judgment, and that's all the damage placed on. Benny not going to use the torn apart memory just yet. That was a flicker burned in by Venus, and that's a W that Echo want to take, those small dubs.
Yeah, and again, as we said, you're already setting up your own playstyle. Get the level 4 as quickly as possible. Sure, it was slightly delayed because they went for something in mid, but now you can see they're putting a lot of pressure onto Blacklist International. This is what they've been doing. They're making sure that Blacklist can't stay long in their own lanes. They can't stay long in front of the turrets because they're setting things up. Yaoi is still here. Even if he doesn't go in, just the mindset of I could get engaged is very terrifying.
Oh, Black Dragon form already. Break it out.
It's on to Carl TZ now. And as you can see, Carl TZ is going to be targeted down, but a lot of damage. That's going to be the Razor's Wrath to buy a little bit more time, but he will be slain. Sanji finding Venus. Haji going to be the target right now. Sanji jumps into the Petrify as well. That's a double kill for the Gusion at M4. Sanford knocked out by the Furious Dive. Yaoi going to be able to dodge away right there from the skill shot from Edward, but Edward's going to be targeted down now. Sanji looking for it, gets it, and it's a triple kill. Unofficial, but still a triple kill for the Gusion that's making its debut on the world stage in the grand finals.
And this propels Echo about 1,000 gold ahead, and it's just back to business. Carl Easy making quick work of this turtle.
Honestly, in that team fight as well, Oh My Venus had a very good shot of using the Numinum Blast, but then gets cancelled by Yaoi, pulling him to the side, saying, no, my team can handle itself. And Oh My Venus engages off Yaoi, and Yaoi escapes that. Using the flicker, but again, it's all right because Echo, they're in control. Even in the team fight, they're micromanaging everyone's skills, everyone's ults to make sure that they don't get punished, to making sure that the Orcas are always going to be the one getting those kills.
And because of that pressure in the bottom lane and the relative absence of Blacklist from those responses in the bottom after the turtle take, they got pushed on bottom. Oh, it's a fight up top.
Haji gonna be stunned up, hands up for the airstrike. Sanji gonna be taken low, taken down, shut down by Haji. But Haji falls as well. Sanford!
Oh my God!
With the famous fire! Jumps in, flickers forward. He knows exactly what he was doing. He finds 2 on the board. He slays Wise as they pick up the tier 1 in the gold lane. 3,000 gold lead.
Conversion through the roof for Echo here. They're taking trades, they're taking bodies, taking turrets. Now 30 seconds away from the turret. Where does Blacklist find an angle for a comeback?
Okay, now we're looking. Oh My Venus is gonna get punished.
Now you see him, no you don't. 2 members disappearing from out of nowhere. Oheb dealing damage on the Sanford, who's still gonna be able to get away for a bit. Shutdown picked up, and Blacklist International strike back.
So what I saw just now, and I kind of think of the same thing, Blacklist, they got to stay inside the jungle of Echo because they need to apply pressure and they need vision. Now they don't have both because, again, we talked about it before the game even starts, how Echo is playing. They're pushing one lane.
Backing off, Edward still wants to commit with a Petrify and the Furious Dive. Now Sanford on the back line, getting the stun down, but not going to be able to find it just yet. Haji with Wings by Wings and the flicker out. Benny going to be caught here, stunned up and taken down. Sanford jumping in again. Wise still soaking all the damage in. That's going to be Sanji though, who comes in out of nowhere. Coming in again onto Venus. Not going to be able to find it just yet. Wise still able to get out for a bit with the shield unity. And he gets to safety. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of Blacklist.
All right, so there's a clapback. Blacklist, given that Echo had to split up their priorities, Turtle says Carl TZ, no, fight, they say, and they're still going!
Sanford again! Jumps in, finds Haji. Oheb trying to melt him down, but it's not going to be enough as he is actually able to dish the damage out. Oheb now going to be targeted down so low. He flickered out of there, but he's still going to be caught. Yawi finds the Divine Judgment. No commitment just yet. Echo decide to pull back.
All right, touche. We pull a treaties for now.
Yep.
8 minutes in, 3K ahead Echo. What's the item game looking like?
The item game is just showing Sanford. He only has the Bloodless Axe as a damage item and the Dominance Eyes just for armor. But again, looking at that, Sanford really should have died. But because Dominance Eyes now lowers the attack speed of your opponent, so Oheb doesn't have maximum attack speed at that point, and he just out-heals Oheb.
Oh man, you can see the carry is just so behind. Corrosion Staff, Golden Staff, he needs that with an nature, but he also needs an Athena at this point, right? There's so much damage output that Echo can deal, and Blacklist are just not ready for that kind of dive.
Yep, it looks like Echo evolved their strategy from game 2, wherein it's not the amount of damage you have, it's where you put it, given the skill shots that Echo have to get in to be able to get these kills. Now 13-6. It just shows that they are playing off of momentum.
Oh, look at this, Oheb!
Gonna be stunned up, gonna be taken down by the corner pop memory. Flicker out by Benny QT as Wise is looking to re-engage with Edward as well. That's a stun coming in. Benny still able to escape, and he fakes the entire team. The petrifying, the Furious Dive connecting on a Benny QT. As Yaoi jumps in, Benny's still alive! Gold easy, talks them up. It's a double kill for Sanji. Echo Philippines, the house of highlights.
And it's just Oh My Venus left. It's as free a lord as it gets for Echo. Barreling on forward, 5K ahead. LaFell, how does Blacklist come back?
Blacklist did everything right. That was not a mistake. Like, they managed to get Benny Cutie. Benny Cutie dashes away. He still got caught. And Blacklist, they still lost. Yaoi was able to pull Edward away. Like, again, it's not that Blacklist. They did the engaged run. They did everything right. And it still wasn't enough. That's very discouraging.
This breaks the whole concept of the metagame that is box-centric, and it's all about geometry because Echo aren't playing with any clear lines here. They're playing from a point-to-point basis, right? Yaoi point and click, Sanji point and click, Benny point and click. Carl TZ is the only one really setting up where Echo can fight, and they always find the right places.
I honestly don't understand how Sanji keeps getting the hits as well, but right now Blacklist fights back.
Oh, they find a kill onto the jungler. Carl TZ gonna fall. Yaoi looking for a re-engage as the Lord marches down in the bottom lane. Sanji picking up the tier 2 in the mid lane. Blacklist International micromanaging the waves properly, getting it down. Still, 7,000 gold lead for Echo. Wise opening up the map, gets the shield unity down, but will be caught on the Divine Judgment. Venus coming in, helping his jungler. Now as Benny QT is going to be able to get petrified down. That's going to be Sanji who finds the unstoppable in the back lines with Sanford as well. The San duo on the back line. Wise going to be targeted down. Sanji not able to connect just yet. You held your breath there. Edward now running away. Yaoi still dishing the damage out. Sanford comes in again, and Benny with the follow-up to finish him off.
That sword spike was about an inch away from Wise. If Sanji had it hit, would have been over for King Wise. But that doesn't change the fact that this Lord, Luminous Lord, coming up in about a minute and change, should be lethal. Oh My Venus drops, the Luminous Blast is still going!
That's going to be the Feather Airstrike onto Yaoi. Still going to be able to get out. Athena's shield popped in with Immortality as well. His torn apart memory will be thrown out. Sanford falling to the hands of Oheb as he is able to find that kill, but it's just a 1-for-1. Echo decides to back off. Base turret still up, except that top side.
So in the defense, Blacklist had their priorities split up, take down members of Echo, clear the waves. Something's got to give. That's that inhibitor up top. That's permanent damage.
Yeah, right now, Echo, they've already set up their checkmate because the Lord is going to come out. That is going to be something that Blacklist have to contest. Now the question is, can they even contest it?
And LaFell, to add to that, it's in the long lane. It's in the opposite lane that Lord is in. It's very clear, it's inevitable that Benny's gonna try to do the same thing.
I mean, we talked about this. This is how they play. They set up the map to their own favor to make sure they have multiple ways to actually win the game. They can win through a team fight. They can win through getting OHEB, through getting Haji, or just going straight, beeline to the king, dropping down the base itself. So this is beautiful coming in from Echo. It's more or less the same thing, but executed in a different way.
They're playing with inevitability. Echo have played to a brilliant situation right now. They're 7K ahead. They're making easy work of this Lord, and Wise checking in. V pulls the conceal.
They've committed a lot of resources here. That's the now Blast, not finding anyone. Yaoi looking for the Divine Judgment, able to find Wise as they try to burst down the Lord. Lord to be secured right now is asking to be winner truncheon by Sanji to buy a little bit more time again. Benny! Wise got it! With the flicker again to find a torn apart memory. Yaoi's looking for more. That's going to petrify and the Furious Dive used up. Sanford jumping in with Bravest Fighter. Oh my god! Sanford! Bendy! Sanji Caltizi Yaoi! They keep styling on Blacklist!
That's 4 for 1. Lord as well going over to Echo. They're gonna push bottom lane, and they are going to threaten the game end. They catch OHEB!
Again, under the base. OHEB very low. It's match point for Echo!
The world champions have never been pushed to the limit, not like this. Echo Express are pummeling on through. They are at match point.
Here's the thing, man.
What are we watching?
We're watching history. Defending champions. Will they be able to defend? Because again, it's not like reverse sweep doesn't happen. It does happen. Even though Echo, it looks like they're very oppressive, it's not game over. Because again, we've seen time and time again. In fact, M1, reverse sweep happened. It can still happen here, but I gotta say, as an analyst, I'm watching the game. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, they're more or less the same. Go to one lane, grab 2 turrets, set up the checkmate. In all 3 games, Echo is able to set up the checkmate.
Just honestly, what was that? Every member, I know we said this, we've been saying this, but seeing it in the grand finals, where all 5 members are in form, where all 5 members know exactly what to do at every given minute, it is a sight to behold. Echo already putting their foot down here. Match point against the defending M3 champions.
It's team fight excellence. They know how to re-engage. They know how to find the right targets. And say what you will about experimentation and how it may have resulted for them in the knockout stage. But now, with a debuting Gushan, Echo puts Blacklist International at match point. They threaten taking home the M4 trophy. And I am here for it.
Dude, Sanford, Lapu-Lapu, very cute with